You know what? No, we're not doing that there. That's just, you know what works better? Right there, where I normally put it. So, anyways, welcome back to Comments and Beer. The first Comments and Beer that I'm actually recording here in 2026. We did do a January one, but basically all we did with the January one was a rehash of the previous year. So, welcome the first new content of 2026. Don't you feel honored? So anyways, before we get going here, I like to introduce our beer. Now, it is not from Black Hills Minor Brewing. It's actually from Woodland Republic. However, I forgot to write down what I got, so I can't remember the name of it. And their tap list thing is broken right now, so, or the list online is broken. So I have no idea. I got whatever their, I think it's their Hazy Pale Ale. I can't think of the name of it for the life of me, but that's what I got. I know it tastes good because I've had it before. But yeah, that's about all I can tell you is it's a beer from Woodland Republic in Rapid City. And it tastes pretty good. And actually, I'm going to drink it just to be safe. Maybe. Oh, do you see? A little foamy. There we go. Yeah, it tastes pretty good. Yep. As I say, yes, it is a hazy pale ale. But anyways, now we went to beer. Let's get some, actually before we get to the comments, it's time for, I guess, my monthly thought or whatever. So we've now entered the biggest waste of time of the year in a motorcycle. That's when all the new motorcycle releases for the year come out. And as you expect, there wasn't really anything I can say that was really special at all. So Harley Davidson basically decided to do the same old thing they always do. But hey, you get a crap ton of colors and some CVOs. Cool. Indian, they are doing what's called the Chief Vintage. Basically, they've taken their Chief and they kind of styled it like the old Indians from back in the day. So, them big fenders, which I do think are pretty cool looking. Goldwing, well, did what they normally do, which is, obviously it's not an anniversary year. We took the anniversary badging off, and basically you got 3 colors. And that's what Goldwing did. And, well, as you expect, all the Harley owners are, you know, oh, the bike's the greatest thing ever, blah, blah, blah. Kind of act like a bunch of iPhone users when, you know, a new phone comes out and it's got features for the first time that have been on, you know, Androids for years. But they didn't really do much of that. But, you know, once again, you know how it goes. Every new year of Harley is the best Harley ever. You know, the advantage of having paid influencers. And if I was a paid Harley influencer, I would probably be acting the same way. But I am not. Indian Chief, yep. Or the Indian people, yep, they're acting all cool because, you know, they have this old vintage bike and they're trying to talk how vintage they are. And it's their 125th year, even though, well, for like 60 of it, they didn't exist. So that's cool. And of course, all the Goldwingers are upset and disappointed and, you know, supposedly going to change brands, which we know they won't. But is what it is. I mean, typical Goldwing fashion. You got 3 colors. That's what you get. That's Goldwing. Don't know what to tell you. It's the same way every year. There was some talk at the beginning of the year that, or, you know, earlier that, oh, maybe they're going to come out with something new. Come on, guys. This is Goldwing. This is Honda. It's not like that. It hasn't been like that. It's never been like that. It's always been 3 colors in the machine that works. And yeah, granted, yep. You can go to Harley and buy a Harley Davidson Ultra Class or Ultra Limited. And yes, you can get 15 different colors. Cool. But you kind of got to decide what you want. Do you want a bike that comes from the factory all good to go? Or do you want something that looks fancy? I mean, you got to make your decision. Personally, you know, there's a give and take with the Goldwings. But anyways, my point is once again, the biggest waste of time every single year for motorcycles is when the new models come out. Because pretty much anymore, there isn't really anything that special comes out. You might get something special every 3-4 years. Maybe that's it. I mean, it's kind of what it is. Just kind of lame like everything else. But anyways, enough of that. Let's get to some comments, shall we? Obviously, we got a few months worth of comments because, well, we didn't do an original comment episode last month. So our worst one, and it's from our friend Memphis on a Shark. He's actually got quite a few this month. He's been putting in the work this month. I have not. I don't know. I might have to put Memphis on a Shark on the payroll maybe. But this first comment, it comes from 3,000 miles to Graceland. And that was, actually, this was part one when I did my bun burner. That was the one I did from here down to Las Vegas. Did that one in what? Well, hell, it's been 5 years now since I did that. That's crazy. And he asks, did they certify it? And I'm assuming he means did the Iron Butt Association certify it? Yes, they did. They, in fact, did certify it. Very much. It was certified. And actually, we're going to go. I should have probably done this before, but it is certified. It is in there. I don't have my certificate with me because that is all. Here we go. Right, certifications. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas here. All right. So yes, I've got 3 of them on there. So obviously that one you're talking about, that one was done. We finished on 5/26 of 2021, 1,590 miles on my Goldwing GL 1800. And then also we did, obviously 22 was the next year. That's when we did the whole bun burner gold. That was 1,517 miles on the 28th of May of that year. And then of course we had the original one, the 23rd of May of 2020. For 1,044 miles. And if you want to go double check it yourself, go to ironbutt.org/certified, type in Richard Lewis, and guess what? You're going to find my name 3 times when it finally loads. So yes, they are certified. And frankly, in my case, like, that was a big deal for me. I know a lot of people always say that, oh, it's not a big deal for me and I don't need a fancy certificate. I guess you can call me needy, but I don't know. It's kind of cool to look up on my wall and see those certificates and kind of bring back the memory of the trip, you know. And I think there's a lot of people on there that think the same. But anyways, let's move on. Next comment. All right, Memphis on a Shark again. This is for my rally demos, the Road King Special. First one there. Like I said, and he typed in first. And like I said, I should put him on the payroll. Another one from Memphis on a Shark. This is from the I Rode Mine Sturgis Rally 2025 Part 1. And he says, you gotta let me buy you a beer. It's 26 Rally. Well, I would definitely take that beer from you. Absolutely, for sure. Because I ain't picky, you know. If someone wants to buy me a beer, I'll definitely let them buy me a beer. I'm not going to say, no. Because honestly, the best beer is free beer. In fact, this beer I'm holding here was bought with Christmas gift cards. So, like I said, the best beer is free beer. All right, next comment. This is from Demetrius2685. This is from one of my older videos, Sturgis Rally 2021, No Hondas Allowed. And I'm assuming he writes, it was never about the bike, but the mindset of the people that ride them. People who ride bikes, like the one pictured above, usually look down on the rough, dirty party lifestyle that Harley guys love. Sturgis is all about that, or at least was until the inclusive crowd tries to join. I have nothing against, well, it's against, but it's AGAINTS, Honda riders. But it's always funny how these types always want to come to our party. LOL. Just my 2 cents. So, I'll be honest with you. Comments like this kind of actually annoy me a little bit. This is also why, well, I can have a nice little clickbait title like No Hondas Allowed. Because it's not about the bike, but yet it kind of is. And you say it's because Honda guys like me look down on you. I mean, yeah, there's some people who look down on you. Obviously, there's people who look down on things. That's just how it is. However, I can tell you this much from where I live and how much the cool guy attitude perverts everything motorcycle around here. I don't know. I feel like there's, there's a lot of looking down that happens by pretty much every single motorcycle brand. Yes, there's some Honda guys out there that look down on, your rough, dirty party lifestyle. A lot of BMW guys also do the same thing. A lot of BMW guys look down on everyone that's not BMW. There's a lot of Harley guys around here that look down on any bike that is not a Harley, including Indian motorcycles, because, Harley's better. There's a lot of Indian people that look down on Harley guys because, well, Indian's better. Whatever. There's a whole lot of looking down and I'm better than you and a lot of that crap. And frankly, I don't think that was the starting mindset of the rally at all. And frankly, I'm going to interject a little bit. The rough, dirty party lifestyle, that came in like the 60s and 70s. The original rally was called, well, there's a reason it's called the Sturgis or the Black Hills Rally and Races. Because it started out as a motorcycle race. That's what it started out as, motorcycle racing. And then some touring. And if you look at it in the late 40s, early 50s, you look into some videos of the old rallies. There's nothing rough, dirty party about that. Like, dudes are wearing their Sunday best, going out for rides everywhere, got their girl with them, and they're having a good time. That rough, dirty party lifestyle kind of came from probably the MC scene, if you ask me. And frankly, I don't think that's ever what the rally's been about. The other thing is, and you talk about the inclusive crowd, I tell you what, there's a lot of rough, dirty party lifestyle still there, even with the inclusive crowd there. The amount of, and I say this by looking at the amount of pickup trucks you see driving to the Buffalo Chip for concerts and going there and having fun. Lots of pickup trucks. I tell you what, there's nothing like when you see an F-150 full of 6 dudes just biked up to the gills and they ain't one of them on a motorcycle or ever ridden one. But hey, gotta look the part, right? So, I guess I'm trying to understand what the rub here is, Because I've always thought of motorcycle and this, at least this is what's told to me by a lot of people that ride motorcycles. It's not about the bike, it's not about nothing. It's about being together and having a good time. That's what it's about. And I kind of like to think that's exactly what it's about. People with common interests. That's kind of what this is. That's what this whole Commons and Beer is right here. It's against some people that got some common interests. And the common interest is motorcycle. The feeling of riding down the road, with the wind in your face, or the wind blowing against you because you're wearing a full face helmet, just that feel of, that visceral feel of nature that you can't get in a car, you can't get in a convertible. But by God, you can get on a motorcycle. Even one of those inclusive Honda Goldwings. I will say this though, I know you say you got nothing against Honda riders, but I feel like they kind of do. Like, I feel like you kind of got some issues there. I guess I do wonder, like, who died and said that this is a rough, dirty party lifestyle party? Like, a party's a party, right? I tell you what, I can ride up there after being on the road for weeks and not taking a shower. And I tell you what, you can party just as hard there as someone who comes up that's clean as hell that took a shower that night. Trust me, you can party just as hard because frankly, enough beer, enough alcohol, you can party pretty flippin' hard, man. So, I don't know. The comments like these are why, like, the title "No Hondas Allowed" is the title on this. Because there are definitely some people in this world that really have an issue about what people ride. They really do. I don't know what it is. And just, I'm going to throw in a little part because you can say, well, you got an issue with Harley. Well, here's the thing. Here's where some of my issues with Harley stems, and this kind of is my Cliff Notes version of it. Back when we were looking to buy, when we were going to buy motorcycles back in like 2003, 2004. And frankly, like, if you wanted like, Harley was kind of a special club you had to be in. And at that time, because they were hard to get, there was a big demand for them. You always had to pay overbook for them. And the attitude at that time was, well, if you ain't on a Harley, you ain't S, right? So, but, you know what? Just because it ain't a Harley, I tell you what. Yep, maybe a Yamaha V-Star ain't as cool as a Harley, but you know what? I can still get just as good of the feeling of the wind in my hair. Flying down the road on a motorcycle, I can get just as good of a feeling on that as I can on any Harley Davidson. So, you know, some of that just stems from just that being, like, not being allowed in the club. You know, back when those days when, you know, like, even the MSF wasn't even a thing here. Like, if you wanted to learn how to ride a motorcycle, well, you either have a better friend that does it, or you better go to the Harley dealership, pay for their expensive one, and then buy one of their expensive motorcycles. That, frankly, for the same price that I got my V-Star for, I basically got a bare bones Sportster. And I can tell you this, my V-Star was a hell of a lot more than that Sportster ever would have been. At least not without doing any building on it. But anyways, I guess that's just my 2 cents, but I figure a party, and, well, we can party anyway. Frankly, I can party at home just fine, but... Well, right when you need it, here's Memphis on a Shark again, and this is from Waiting Game, Sturgis Rally 2025, Part 2, and he says, clutch, coming in, clutch. These are just the videos I need to get through winter, thank you. So, and that's part of the reason why I do the videos the way I do it. I always try to keep, if I can... I like to get, if I can get a lot of the rally content into like December and January, I like that, especially the main rally stuff, because for a lot of people right now, especially for my North America viewers, a lot of us are snowed in or can't take the bike out right now, and we need something to kind of be like, hey, you know, think of the summer, look ahead, you know, here's what it looks like when there's bikes out, stuff like that. Now, for any of the friends watching in the Southern Hemisphere, obviously not, because you're in the middle of your summer right now. But, yep, that's kind of why I do it the way I do it, so that way I can get kind of some good motorcycle videos out in the middle of the winter when, well, nothing's really going on and you need a little something to remind you of summer. So, another one from the same video, this is Memphis on a Shark again. He asks, are you using the Cardo as a microphone? So, actually, what I use on my microphone is, and I should do a video about my setup. So what I use for the mic is I actually have a, it's just a, well, I have a GoPro. Let's see, is that one? Well, it depends on what I'm shooting. If I'm shooting through my helmet with my GoPro, I got a GoPro Hero Black 5, and I've got the little mic adapter kit, and I've got a mono microphone. And this is what's important on the GoPro. You don't want a stereo microphone. You need to buy an actual mono microphone. I had to pay like $40 for it. Like, if it's older than that, like the, you know, old Hero like 3, stuff like that, any microphone will work. But if it's going newer than that, you need a good like mono microphone, because otherwise you get a lot of wind pop and stuff like that. So that's what I use there. And then as far as when I'm using my Insta360, I'll use, basically what I'll do is I'll take my, or actually, maybe we shouldn't do that one. What I'll actually use is my little DJI mic, and I'll use that with, what am I trying to say? I will use that with, obviously I got my sensor for it, and this I'll either tuck up in my helmet by my mic, or I'll stick on my, like, underneath on my little strap, something like that, my helmet strap. That's what I'll usually do with that. Kind of depends on what I'm doing. For the most part, I still like the old audio that comes through the GoPro and the mono mic better than that DJI. But what's nice about that DJI mic is, like, when I have my 360, is I can get my audio on that 360, which is pretty nice. And also, with these DJI mics, I have a recording backup, so all else fails and it doesn't come through right, I can always go back and still recover my audio from these, in case something goes weird with the GoPro, which audio goes to hell a lot on GoPros, it seems like. I don't know, for the money you got to pay for them, you think it'd be better. It's a lot better on Insta. All right. Another Memphis on a Shark. Man, like I said, I need to put you on the payroll. What rank are you? I'm just a lowly former E3. Well, I retired to rank E7 on the Army side of the house. That's Sergeant First Class. That's what I retired as. I did. When did I get promoted? I got E7 in 2019, so the last about, 6 years of my career, I was in E7. So I figured it was a pretty good career. I was happy with it. All right. Memphis on a Shark again. Different video. Comments and beer, best of 2025. That's the one we did last month. He says, I love that you're representing Dixon Files. How lucky you are to be so close to factory store. Keep the videos coming. We'll definitely keep those videos coming. As far as Dixon Files go, I like them. I'm not paid by them to wear them at all. I just kind of like the feel of them. I kind of like the look of them. I will say this, I think they do a pretty good job going down the road. They seem to hold up a little bit, and if I remember right, I want to say they're about 50, 60 bucks for a flannel, and frankly, they're $20 more than the crappy flannels you can buy like anywhere, and well, they seem to hold up a lot better. They wash pretty good. I like the look of them, so that's where I'm at. But once again, I'm not sponsored by Dixon Flannels at all. I just wear them because I like them. However, Dixon, if you're listening, I would definitely be interested in doing a sponsorship with you. But anyways, it is pretty cool to be close to factory store because, yeah, we're 20 miles away. It's kind of nice we got one in Sturgis. I hope it stays there. The thing with year-round businesses there is they all say they're going to stay open year-round, and eventually all of them become a seasonal t-shirt shop. So I hope the same thing doesn't happen with Dixon, but I kind of have a feeling it will eventually. But either way, we're going to enjoy them while we got them here. That is for sure. All right. So, same video, Memphis again. He says, I got the growler. It's awesome. Thank you so very much. So, got a growler. So, that, if you remember right, from 2 months ago in December, he had asked if, I would possibly consider sending him my Sawyer growler because the dog is named Sawyer. And I obliged him on it. So, sent it to him. He got it in the mail. Definitely enjoyable. He continues on. I know it sounds like a stupid thing, but to have that from Sturgis with my dog's name on it really is cool. You're a good dude. Thanks again. I appreciate your comments there, Mr. Memphis on a Shark. Now, now full disclosure here. Sawyer Brewing is not actually in Sturgis. It is actually in Spearfish, which is about 20 miles away. So I just wanna, put that out right away. It actually is from Spearfish. There's a brewery in Sturgis. It is actually called Sturgis Brewing. That's a pretty good brewery as well. But yeah, absolutely. That, definitely, like I said, it's one of those things. It's a growler. I mean, I can always buy more of these things. I threw out a bunch of them like 3 or 4 months ago. So, as you collect them over the years. And honestly, it's kind of the way I like to get my beer around. And frankly, I used to do crowlers, but frankly, these are a lot cheaper than a crowler because for a crowler, it's half of that and it's about 2/3 the price, or you can just pay one price for the growler, which is what I generally choose to do. So, but like I said, definitely appreciate the comments. Least I could do, wasn't a big deal to send one out. Obviously, we can get them all the time. But anyways, let's move on to our next comments. Oh, another. Once again, Memphis. This one's from So Many Gold Wings. Like I said, we'll just change this to the Memphis on a Shark comment blog. That's what we'll call it now. So, yeah, maybe we'll do it now. I can see it now. Like, get rid of Sodak Motorcycle Blog. We'll cross out that, and we'll just say Memphis on a Shark Motorcycle Blog. Because, like I said, you are doing a lot of the work right now, and it's making my life easy because I'm kind of lazy when it comes to this part of the year. But yeah. We'll put you on the payroll. Your payment is, one growler. So, okay, you already been paid out. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. First, obviously, probably talking that he was the first one to comment on the video. And he says, I owe this man some beer. I know we talked about that before. Definitely, like I said, free beer is the best beer. So, let's move on. Oh, actually, first of all, before we move on, we need to take a refill break. It's hazy. It's a hazy. It definitely is hazy. All right. Anyways, next comment. This one on So Many Gold Wings. Now I'm assuming this was a reply to a previous video, and let's double check that to make sure. Because once again, I am always prepared. Always prepared. Where is... Huh. I must have said something in the video. But anyways, this is from one of my members of the Sodak Motorcycle Blog. As you can see, I didn't reply because I was bad and didn't log in time and didn't notice it till about a week ago. So I was really bad about it. Fortunately enough, my apologies for you. Maybe I should say instead of guaranteed a reply in 48 hours, I'll try to get a reply in 48 hours. Anyways, K93T3Y. You are right. That conversation will not go over well. Laughing while crying emoji. I was not super impressed with that passenger seat. Definitely aftermarket seat and armrest for me. So absolutely right. That was talking about the seats on the Goldwings, and that's the one thing with the new Goldwings. Their seats are just not what they used to be. They just aren't. Like, I joke around, they kind of took a page from BMW's book, but they did, including the looks and also the fact that, well, BMW, like most companies, don't understand that sometimes people like to ride on the back of motorcycles. But that's okay. That's why there's companies like Russell Daylong in this world, which we will be continuing to use their seats. So, but here's the thing with your passenger. You got to keep your passenger happy. That's just how it is. Because if you don't keep your passenger happy, if they're uncomfortable, they're not going to ride on the bike. If they're not riding on the bike, it's probably going to be harder for you to be able to go for rides without feeling bad. I mean, yes, me and my wife have a very good relationship. Well, she does her thing a lot. I do my thing a lot. However, if the seat was uncomfortable and it was one of those deals where she just didn't want to ride at all, I would feel terrible going out for rides all the time. I would. I just would. So, like I said, take a little bit of my advice and make your passenger happy if you ride with a passenger. That's all there is to it. Don't tell them to suck them out. Don't tell them to stop being a wuss. Like, I don't know, maybe try to make their life a little better on a motorcycle. Trust me, it will help out your life on a motorcycle as well. So anyways, next comment, three-wheel things getting out of hand. Oh, this should be good. This is from Kenneth Howard, 1237. And I'm going to read this in my dramatic voice. If you're going to have someone else tell people about a bike, at least make sure he knows the bike. They all have reverse. Yes. Yes, I know. They have reverse. Once again, the war with the three-wheeler, the spider people, it continues because I brought great discredit and dishonor upon their kingdom by speaking the wrong way and not having reverse. So here's the thing I'm going to say about this again, and I'm just going to keep saying this. Just we'll put this on repeat. If you want a detailed review that has all the features right and all that crap, this is not where you are. This is literally idiot goes and sees bike, idiot rides on bike, idiot tells you thoughts about bike, and idiot puts bike video on internet with very poor editing. So, if you want a good fancy editing, guess what? This ain't the place to do it. I'm not a big enough blog where I get invited and get to do press bikes or any of that. I, just like most people, get to do the quick little demo ride in a quick little shot, 5 minutes, well, for this one, about 30, 40 minutes, and that's all I get. So, it is what it is. I used to always say, sorry, I'm not, but you know what? Yeah, I don't care. You can be pissed off. I don't care. Too bad. Go somewhere else. Go find another review. Sorry. No, not sorry. All right, Memphis back again. This is from my latest video. This is actually my last Sturgis Rally video for this video where we did typical rally day. Basically, I just went through and did what my day during the rally is like. We almost could redo this whole comment. We've heard this before from Memphis, but hey, I'm going to say it anyway. Clutch, coming in clutch with a ride video in this freezing weather. Thanks. Like I said, we already talked about that. That's what I do. I don't know if coming in clutch is my thing, but, I definitely like to get the videos out at the right time. All right, so 2 days ago, same video, Memphis asked, is your subdivision the one where the west end collapsed, sunk, and there is a whole fence-off restricted area? Just curious. Now, there is a reply here that says, no, we live further north of the area, and that's right. We kind of live further north from that area. But we are pretty close. We're within a few miles of it. It's very close to us. It's definitely one of those things that when it happened, and hell, it's been, well, now 6 years. It happened in April. I want to say it was April of 2020 is when that happened. And what sucks about it is, in the hills, it could be anywhere. Because there's all kinds of old mines. Basically what happened was there was an old mine there that was filled in over the years, and basically it finally sunk in. And it was actually kind of known way back when, but then kind of forgotten about. Maybe on purpose. Maybe there was some negligence there. Actually, there was probably definitely some negligence there. Like, contractor said we can't build there. The county said build it. You know, that kind of stuff. But we're not going to get into this. Bottom line, what really sucks about, and it was Hideaway Hills, what really sucks about that is there's a lot of people there that, well, frankly, it's been 6 years and there's been no resolution on that. There was some legal action, but the case was thrown out, and it's a whole lot of no one wants to pay for it. Now, and basically the owners of those houses are basically caught in the crossfire. They are hosed regardless. They're basically sitting on land that they invested money in that's basically worthless right now. There's a bunch of those houses people can't live in right now. As far as the whole development goes, the whole thing's condemned. So basically everyone that lives there is pretty much on overpriced pasture ground right now. And it really sucks. And frankly, it could be that easy. It could happen to anybody around here. There's so many old mines around here. Now, if you're thinking insurance-wise, I talked to my insurance company after it happened, and yes, they do have sinkhole insurance. However, in a situation like that, where it's a former mine, that's not a naturally occurring sinkhole, not covered by insurance. So not only are they not covered by insurance, stuck on land that's now worthless, but there is negligence, and they can't get anybody to pay up on that negligence because, you know, our lovely court, or our lovely system that's made to benefit, well, not the little guy, but I could go off that. That could be a whole different video for a whole different blog, but that's all I'm going to say about that is fortunately we're not there. But, you know, also you always kind of worry about it here. You really do, because every map I've seen, our neighborhood's fine, but you never know. All right, last one for the month. It's from Memphis on a Shark. He starts out with, okay, I asked too many questions. Now, you know what? I'm going to say that. Like I said before, I don't mind the questions because that's good. Because like I said, you're providing me content. Like I said, I may put you on the payroll. I'm probably going to pay you in empty growlers, you know, with, you know, names of various things on it. But hey, pay is pay, right? You know, only the best pay for my employees because, you know, I'm a very crappy boss. But anyways, it says, okay, I asked too many questions. But what does the 17 mean in your logo? All right, 17 is pretty simple. 17 is the year this was founded, 2017. Simple as that. Now, as far as the inspiration goes, so if you look at our road signs in this state, and this was kind of my thought process on it, was, okay, I need something that's kind of us. Well, the South Dakota road signs, a combination of things, but I was thinking the main part of the logo I wanted was the South Dakota road signs. They're on a green sign. They got a little cutout that says South Dakota, highway numbers on it. So you look at any of our highways, and you've probably noticed it when you come through here. Those of you who have come on Highway 34 or been on 79 or whatever, you know, you look at our logo, and you notice that's it. So that was my inspiration for it. I literally stole the 17 logo. There is a South Dakota Highway 17. I think it's out by Sioux Falls. I literally stole that logo off of YouTube, borrowed some colors, made it all work out, and I threw in a top rocker and a bottom rocker, Sodak motorcycle blog, and hence it was born. And wow, this was a lot of... Gosh, maybe we got to make this a two-parter. I don't know. But anyways, that's it for Comments and Beer for February 2026. Once again, I'm your host, Clutch. We release weekly motorcycle videos talking about all kinds of stuff. This time of year it gets a little slower because we're past the rally videos. We also do our Comments and Beer once a month. Comes out Thursday night, 7 o'clock Mountain Time. If you don't know what Mountain Time is, just figure out what time Denver's on. We are on the same time. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. I encourage you to leave a comment. Once again, that's what makes this show happen, good or bad. And we'll answer them every month. If you want a comment answered right away, you can join our membership for $2.99 a month. You get priority reply to comments, meaning I will try to reply to your comments within 48 hours. Additionally, you get full access to all my videos when I upload them. You don't have to wait. And also you get a little logo by your name, little Sodak Motorcycle Blog logo that denotes that you're a member of the blog. But anyways, for the Sodak Motorcycle Blog, I am Clutch. We'll see you later.